It is 10 o'clock. So
No, it's not. It's 7.
it is 7 o'clock.
Let's do it.
30. So show start is 32:27. Everybody set?
Yep.
Yep. Sure. So this one time at band camp.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. Here.
So what happened at band camp?
PG or not PG?
Well, oh god, there goes the gnome train.
Welcome to Frazlecast, a podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. Each week, we are joined by awesome people from around Azeroth and beyond. We are live from Stonefire Tavern in Ironforge. This week is a special episode.
Okay.
It is Siilverbolt's 21st birthday! Happy birthday, Silver!
Congratulations!
Good thing I got a glass of
Finally
wine
get
here.
the key to the house.
What?
Sorry, that's a year.
Wait, a house?
Yeah, well, no.
I get a house? Dude, that's oh my god!
When I was in
It's
England,
the present I got today. I got cupcakes today.
maybe there's a key in the cupcakes.
It was cupcakes
Cupcakes.
I didn't have to provide the class with.
Wow.
Somebody brought me cupcakes,
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
nice.
right?
Well, a happy birthday.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you,
So-
thank you. That's awesome.
Shoot,
That's
man.
awesome.
Man,
Can we get an air horn with that?
Please?
where is it? Here we go.
There we go.
Yes! Thank you, thank you. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
I had heard this song. I was like, yes, this is the official Frazzlecast birthday song. It is just so cheesy, so cheery.
It's awesome.
So yeah, it is your 21st birthday, and bus driver, move that bus. Here's your new.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, where's your house? Sorry, Silverbolt. Your house is not there. Oh.
Wouldn't it be hilarious?
Is this an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes, it's one of my favorite ones in the world. And then they're just standing on the rubble. Although I love Charlie's taco bed that he did complete.
Oh, I love it. That was an amazing episode.
Yeah, we had built you
They
this.
abduct the family out of the house is one of the hardest I've ever laughed in my life. We're gonna change your lives forever!
It was good.
I used to watch that Tear Down Your House show, Extreme Home Makeover with that whatever the guy's name is. But I used to, and yeah, they would always take them out of their house, turn the house into something that they would outgrow as kids. So, and that's not this. This is not the Tear Down Your House show. So if you're tuning in for that,
Blow up your house show.
well, no,
We're
I
blowing
don't
up
want.
houses now.
Yeah.
No, Zorch is in
It's
here.
Mythbusters meets Extreme Home Makeover.
That sounds like a bad combination.
That would be an awesome combination. What are you talking about?
But I think that would get very. Why do I have Pokemon in my show agenda?
I
What
don't
about
know.
Pokemon?
I see Pokemon under the main topics.
I actually looked at the agenda. I missed that. Hang on.
I think I just got to.
Hang on.
There's an agenda?
Yeah.
There's an agenda.
Yeah, he
we
makes
just never
whatever-
follow it.
He puts a lot of work into it every week, and we never look at it or follow it.
Nope.
But let's get into our agenda this week.
Pokemon? Dude, you're on drugs. Oh, wait. Pokemon movie. What the fuck Pikachu Talks Nightmare.
Hey.
What?
Well, we'll get to that after the after we discuss
How
the.
did I miss that?
I just saw it now too. I think a Warlock added it. Can't trust the Warlocks.
Maybe.
I don't know what that
and I
means.
might have added it like an hour and a half ago.
I just now noticed it.
Are we adding things to the
You can if you want.
agenda? I'm doing it now.
Oh, and I need to get my soundboard phone ready for the shots. But speaking of adding things, this past QLab, shot glass. See, we're doing it live, folks.
There we go.
Where is the shot glass?
You just can't find anything.
You finally broke them all. Okay.
Shot. So
And it didn't break. So when Deceiver's not around, it doesn't break.
Well, because I'm also not angrily putting it down like, okay, here you go. Here's your shot.
Do you have a real shot glass doing that sound? I always thought that was a sounder.
It is a sounder.
Oh, okay.
Again, I only drink water.
Frazley does not own a shot glass.
Actually, no, we do. I do.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's one of those collector ones that just sit on the shelf because someone who went to like Mexico or Hawaii went and got you a shot
That
glass.
has to be it.
Yep.
Because I can't picture David and Gail doing shots.
I got it from a Loot Crate. I used to be on Loot Crate, and we are not sponsored by Loot Crate.
I used to do Loot Crate too, but I usually only found like 1 or 2 items in there I like, and then the rest I usually try to give away.
Yeah, I got a couple of shirts.
Yeah, the shirts were nice until they started shrinking them.
Yeah, but if you listen to all the Gatsroth, they now have Funko Pops. So definitely,
they usually always did have something like that because I have a couple Funko Pops or whatever thingy.
Yeah, but they're still not as cool as the BlizzCon Gear Store plushies.
I just got to see more about the puppy. The puppy, the shadow puppy. It has a button, a push me button. I'm a little disappointed because it doesn't make sounds.
The top of it lights up, right? Is that what I saw?
The top lights up and apparently it flashes.
Ooh.
I actually got a chance at BlizzCon to talk to a woman who actually is on the staff that designs the plushies. It was so cool. Like, I totally geeked out, like, really super geeked out, like, talking to her. And I said, you guys really missed an opportunity not making both colors.
Yeah.
Like, I think hands down, if they would have given the extra little time, I think the problem was time. Like, the time constraints to actually design the plushie and get it out there in time for BlizzCon to debut at BlizzCon. But if they would have had both of them debuting, like, check it out, it's the Shadow plushie. Oh, wait, there's more. You can buy the other version, too. You know, the other color version. And the people were like, oh, my God, just money up on stage. But the
other thing that they could have done was have it reversible. So you've seen the reversible, so you can have a shadow or a light by reversing it.
Yeah, there's a Zergling pet, I think, that does that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I just know I was actually watching a YouTube video where someone was making a penguin and an owl out of socks, doing a reversible thing and showing you how to make it. And I remember my mom's workplace had a bear and a bull, and that's to do with the stock market where one's doing really well. So depending on how it was a bear or a bull. I almost got my mom in trouble because I changed all the animals, I think, to bears, saying the stock wasn't doing so well.
Whoops.
Yeah, so the whole office was freaking out.
And they definitely make great plushies. But yeah, so I bet it was cool meeting the person from the Blizzard merch team.
Oh, it was awesome because, like, I was just standing there and I happened to be making a comment about how I was like, I was checking out the plushies up in the Darkmoon Fair, and I'm like, I'm kind of disappointed that I was really looking forward to, or I was kind of disappointed that there wasn't a new Whelpling this year. And all of a sudden she just like steps up, she's like, oh, thank you for the feedback. You know, we've it's not the first time we've heard that or anything at all about, people loving the Whelpling plushies, but time constraints and things like that. But we really appreciate the feedback, on hearing what people want to see. So I started talking to her some more and asking her some more questions to find out, like, she works on the Blizzard, on the Blizzard plushie design team. Like, she's on the design team. And I talked to her about how I was like, oh yeah, I think it's really cool how like Traveler Pepe's got the little bag and it's got, you can actually put stuff in there. She's like, oh yeah, I really love designing like utility into the plushies. So like down to the little bag on Traveler Pepe that it's actually opens and usable. Like, she was so excited to talk to me about that. It was so cool. Like, just those little moments at BlizzCon, like, just made it. It was, yeah.
Yeah. And just the access to people and just the people there, because for the employees, it must be fun seeing all these gamers enjoying what they've been working on all year and be like, this is why we work at Blizzard. We work to make these people happy.
I'm the magical candy man, making people happy. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh, and Reinhardt, Darren DePaul.
Candy!
I want to meet Darren DePaul at some point. Well, especially hearing what the great encouragement he told Kaz. Listen to Worgen's How 156, but hearing that was like, Darren DePaul, you're awesome. So if you're listening to this, you're awesome. So I don't think you're listening to this. You're probably working more on Reinhardt and stuff like that. But you're awesome, Darren DePaul. And yeah, when he was, and apparently he actually has candy at his house, and he was like, none of the fans showed up. So Darren DePaul wants you to go to his house next year.
For candy?
For candy, yeah.
Yep.
That sounds so sketchy.
Halloween candy.
Halloween candy.
Not just, come in for candies and puppies and kitties. Come in because trick-or-treating.
And if somebody on trick-or-treat ever asks you to go to the house, say no. Say no and call the cops.
That's right.
But nice. So yeah, so Silver, you went to BlizzCon.
I did.
So how was that?
Amazing. Like, absolutely, hands down, the best experience I ever had. Like, I'm ready to go back again. And I don't know if next year will top it, but maybe if I go, a day earlier. And I mean, it kind of helps that I have like a really, really eye-catching cosplay.
Yes.
That like I got tweeted out by Michelle Morrow, and
that was amazing.
She even dropped a shout out on the freaking BlizzCon live stream. Like, I get tagged later by the Lazy Goblin on Twitter. He's like, "You just got a shout out on the live stream," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I just like dropped the link to the post from Michelle Morrow. I'm like, "Yeah, it's because of this." I was like, oh, and it's funny too because like later at I think it was Saturday night, and I was kind of gathering people up. We were trying to get to dinner to meet up with Kaz and Frosty on Saturday night to at least spend some time with them. And Michelle comes walking out of the Hilton. I'm like, "Oh, hey, Michelle," and she kind of goes, "Hi," gave me like this like kind of weird look. I'm like, "No, I was the dragon from Thursday." She's like, "Oh yeah, that was so awesome. I gave you a shout out on the live stream." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So it's like having this like just chat with Michelle Morrow like out of the Hilton. So it's like, oh, you can't top that. Like, I mean, I'm sure you can, but I that was my first BlizzCon. I was like, okay.
Yeah, well, and your first BlizzCon, you became famous. So I mean, that's awesome. After hearing all the experience, I've now started a BlizzCon fund because I was seeing all the fun that was going on Twitter. It's like seeing like all these people just like post like, "Yeah, I'm going to make it to BlizzCon one of these years." So that's awesome. Yeah, well, and probably just like the cheers. Which hall were you in for the announcements?
The main one, the main room.
Nice.
That was really cool.
And were you there in the Q&A?
No. Believe during the Q&A, I'm trying to think where I was and what I was doing during the Q&A.
Okay, because I was watching the Q&A, and as soon as they announced working models, I didn't know if you were there, so I tweeted out saying, "I can hear Siilverbolt." So maybe you weren't. You weren't in the Q&A hall or Q&A hall. But nice.
No. Yeah, I was. I don't remember where I was during the Q&A, but That might have been the time that I headed up to the Darkmoon Fair to trade badges.
Nice.
I like those Velcro badges.
And did you get any good badges?
I got pretty much all of them. I'm missing like one of the simple ones. It was like one of the ones from Corsair. So one of the gaming side booths. And then there was like a Mercy Wing that was given out.
Yeah,
but
there's like only 500 of those.
Yeah, there was not a lot of them given out. Like, I don't think I even saw one in person. It's like this mythical Mercy Wing that I kept hearing everywhere. And I was just like, then it was just like, oh, I have to find this Mercy Wing. And then when I found out it was like only 500 out of the 30,000 people that were there, I was like, I'm never going to see one. So I actually started looking on eBay when I got home, and it's like $200 on eBay. And I'm like, no. It's cool, but it's not worth $200.
The other problem with buying it on eBay, quite a few people I've been hearing said they got theirs stolen right off their backpack.
Yeah, I do not want to buy a stolen one, so I'm not going to put into that. The only thing I've actually bought off of eBay that wasn't exclusive was the San Diego Comic-Con, I think 2015, the Nexus Whelpling. That one I bought, I probably paid about $85 for it. So it was basically I was paying for their ticket into the SDCC, and then they were able to, like one per person or something like that. So I paid, like, I reserved my spot, so I reserved their Whelpling. It was like one per person while supplies lasted. So
one per person.
That's what I thought, or something along those lines. Either which way, it was limited quantities, and I basically paid ahead of the Comic-Con and reserved one, and I got it. So I paid about 3 times what a Whelpling, basic Whelpling was worth, but I'm very happy with it in my collection.
Nice. And yeah, the badges, I was afraid that there would be them stolen off the backpacks, because I've had things stolen from me at big events like that. I was like a 10-year-old kid at this new pizza place that opened up, and I put my card into the skee ball. I was playing it. Somebody took my disposable card with all my coins on it. I was sad.
Somebody rob you at Chuck E. Cheese?
It wasn't. Do you remember back in they were trying to compete with Chuck E. Cheese, so they were the cool pizza place. They were on Morse Road.
Gotta give me a name.
Pizza Galaxy, or not Pizza Planet, but like you went there and like that. Your coins was a
Pizza Galaxy
or Pizza something, Pizza Place.
Oh, wait, yeah, I do remember what you're talking about. I never went. I remember hearing about it though.
I went there on a after-school program, and somebody stole my.
It's still there, is it?
No, they closed because all those places. The mouse got them, and the rat, because he was a rat. The rat got them.
You mean Chuck E. Cheese? I thought Chuck E. Cheese is a rat. I thought he was a mouse. Wait, he's a rat?
No, he's a mouse.
Okay, well, the mouse got him then, because the mouse is still big, and there's a Chuck E. Cheese near us. I've actually been there. Oh, that place is so grungy. Oh,
Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese is disgusting.
I know. I said grungy.
Oh wait, because you got 10-year-old nephew or whatever. Although
I remember Chuck E. Cheese being this epic when I was really young, and then I don't know if they moved locations, but whatever they moved to is so tiny and grungy and horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I had a birthday party with my family when I went there one time, and this little girl kept hitting me the whole time. I'm like, what is your problem? Why are you hitting me? Again, I was a little kid, but I was like, why are you hitting me the whole evening?
Fraz, did a little girl kick your ass at Chuck E. Cheese?
Yes. Anyway, this is not Frazley's childhood trauma episode. This is Siilverbolt's BlizzCon reaction
podcast.
Yes.
So now's not a good time to put food in my mouth?
Oh, okay. If you want to put food in your mouth, I can go over what was announced at BlizzCon. So
Did you do that last week?
yeah, but this way we can hear Siilverbolt's reactions in between.
Got it.
Biting sandwiches.
Got it. So ignore what we did last week, everybody.
Yeah. Well, we did. Wait, what did we do last week? I forget.
I just remember shouting Brian Williams a lot. That's all I remember.
It was very, very hectic last week. Very
Because
hectic.
there were like 9 people. There were like 9 people on the podcast.
I only do those rarely, and I figured post BlizzCon it was perfect, and I had fun. But yeah. Anyway,
good time. It was a good time.
So go listen to 27 after you listen to 28, if you're still listening to 28. Anyway, so at BlizzCon they announced classic servers, and they said everybody likes ice cream. I like, and Ian was like, I like chocolate and cookies and cream. So Ian, you are awesome. I love you, Ian. You're awesome. And he said,
I like vanilla.
You like vanilla?
Well, I like vanilla, but one's with real vanilla, not the beaver gland. Real vanilla.
Yes, the real. So
vanilla bean.
Oh,
wait, French vanilla.
Wait, vanilla ice cream comes from beavers?
Yes.
Anything artificial vanilla flavor, it's actually from beavers.
So if I just like went out in the forest and picked up a beaver and took a bite, it's going to taste like vanilla?
No, you have to go to the butt gland area.
So if I eat a beaver's butt, it's going to taste like vanilla.
It's kind of, well, it will be smelling like vanilla.
Well, I mean, for that end of any creature, I guess that is a fairly pleasant smell for that. So I guess if I'm ever lost in the woods and I'm desperate for food, I know that is it the tail? Do they get it from the tail? Because that's
the gland. I'll find.
Oh, so it's like a gland thing, but it's like a real. Can I get one of those? Because I think that would be nice to have, where it's just vanilla and it just doesn't offend anybody, and it's great.
Man, yeah. So
like, yeah.
So we can say that private servers are beaver butts. But
yeah,
no, I want French vanilla. French vanilla, real vanilla.
French beaver butts.
Well, no.
So Ian has said we aren't gonna get beaver butts. We're gonna get WoW real vanilla, WoW Classic. So Silver, what are your thoughts on Classic?
There's a reason I don't play on a private server. Like, it was great and all, but oh my god. So I spent Saturday, I was at a friend's wedding, and the entire wedding, like all the friends of the bride and the groom, they were all geeks. It was great. Like everybody in the entire room, like during, like after the ceremony and stuff like that, well, during dinner, like Tenacious D tribute was playing. We were all singing to it.
Nice.
It was like an amazing geeky wedding. I was really happy to be there. But yeah, I was talking to somebody there who's on a private server, who, you know, one of the servers that they're trying to shut down with WoW Classic, and hearing him talk about how he had to like run around and get all these buffs from all these different places just to go raid BWL, and I'm just like, I don't need that. I don't want that. Like, a lot of people, a lot of things that I've been hearing amongst the many other podcasts I listen to is that it's going to be a really great little novelty until it, you know, about a week, and you're like, I'm good. I'm good. I like the changes that WoW has become and done, and that I really don't want to go back. I mean, it'd be great to see the old world and maybe level a tune to like level 20, or, you know, see the old school barons and stuff like that. That would be, because that, you know, was my memories of that was leveling a horde tune in the barons. You know, that would be kind of interesting again, but it was just so time consuming. It was back in the day when I had like 13 hours to play. You know,
yeah.
I go to school, come home, and I'd just be playing that for hours all Saturday or something like that. And I just remembering my slash played on some of my characters. You know, like my level 60 character had like 60 something days played, you know, at max level 60. It was a lot of time consuming time. It's just like
60 days for like
a level 60 character. I mean, that's
quick for leveling.
No, well, 60.
Back in that day,
I
that was
think
quick.
Burning Crusade. I remember seeing some of my characters at least at 80 days played, total time played. It was just like it was kind of depressing to see how much time I put into the game. But I still don't. I'm curious to see what they're going to do to monetize it. Like I personally, how I would see it is the gateway drug. Like, make it free. Make it completely free. If you really want to play it, go right ahead. I mean, I think Blizzard's making enough money on World of Warcraft and all its other franchises that they don't have to charge a dime for WoW Classic.
I think they will eventually.
Well, but see, this is where I think. Like, I think it would be very neat. I mean, this is just all wishful thinking. If they made it free to anybody to come play, and I mean, because if they charge people money for it, what they're trying to do is pull people who want to play on the private servers.
Yeah, and
people play on private servers for free.
Yeah.
So why would they want to come to WoW Classic and pay money? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so they roll it, and one of the other theories is that, okay, they roll it into your WoW subscription. Okay, so I pay for WoW. Why would I want to go play WoW Classic? Okay, the novelty, the nostalgia. I already don't have enough time to play regular WoW. Like, why would I spend more time on playing Classic? I mean, it's going to be such a small group of people who are going to play Classic continuously. Like, I again, going back to what I'm thinking, like, if they made it free, then they can bring those people from those private servers over, make them happy, have a game that's actually sponsored by Blizzard and actually updated and maintained by Blizzard, and patches and exploits and bugs and stuff like that all fixed out by Blizzard. But if you pay for a 2-month subscription of World of Warcraft and the base game, which is $20 or something like that, you get a free character copy over of your character from WoW Classic, and now you're playing their regular subscription game.
I could see that.
That's where my mind is, and how they can monetize this. And like I said, it's the gateway drug. Bring them into, like, hey, you really like WoW Classic, but look at all these really awesome features we have of current WoW, and the quality of life improvements that we've made since that game. Sure, you can play it for free, but here's all this other stuff. That's where I would go. But I've heard other things that people have contradicted me on that, or at least have said, like, no, they're going to charge it, or they're going to roll it into your subscription and things like that. And I'm like, I don't think that's going to last. That's not a lasting model for getting people to play.
Yeah, I could see the base game being, for WoW Classic, being free. I mean, I could see them not, because to charge $20 for that, I think you would turn off a lot of people. I think that they probably will do the sub model, but I think it actually would be kind of cool if they did at least 1 or 2 characters free on that 1 to 60. I mean, and then if you wanted more characters and alts on the Classic or the main game, you buy a sub. It sounds like on the revenue model, they're going to hire a team, and there is already Blizzard career jobs out there. And then once it is up and running and they have it patched into where they want, they're kind of going to put it into maintenance mode, because really there's not much more content you can add to vanilla that's not part of vanilla.
Yeah, there's still discussion. I mean, it's still very early stages of everything. All they've done so far was go to their engineers and be like, hey, can you make this run on current specs, current computer specifications? They went home, they did it, they came back, said, yes, we can do it. All right. And that's where we're at.
And they made a really cool cinematic.
I was just going to say that. They made a really awesome cinematic, which, totally, my mind, where I went with that cinematic and where I was hoping it was going to go, and I was kind of disappointed by the announcement, I was hoping for a rewinding of the world.
Me too.
Like, think like Desolus, and where the dark portal is, and how you can go talk to the chromatic dragonflight or the of course I should know my dragonflights. You can talk to the dragon at the entrance to out of Swamp of Sorrows, and you can tell them to make it look like before Warlords of Draenor. And I was hoping for that, where you can go talk to somebody and be like, hey, turn the Barrens to like before Cataclysm. Like, I was hoping for something like that.
Yeah.
To be able to rewind the world back to where it was beforehand. But once they were like, oh, well, classic. And I'm like, oh, yay. Like, golf, clap.
Yeah, it's one of those, I'm going to have to play it because I need to know what it's, I played vanilla. Oh, it's been probably about 30 minutes, and I already said classic on podcast. That's a classic timer on podcast. How
you've said it like way, way long time ago.
Well, no, but for this episode, it's been 31 minutes before I said that I played on vanilla. But I do think it, like, I'm gonna be there as a tourist, but I'm with you. I don't have enough time sometimes to play WoW. Why do I want to play? I'm thinking into all the hard things in classic. Lady Emma wasn't helping when she was saying mage runes, hunter ammo, hunter love hate.
All right.
I didn't say hunter love hate.
Hitting level 60 and trying to get 1,000 gold together to buy my epic land mount? Yeah. No thanks.
I never did that.
Warlocks and paladins got mounts.
My friend, okay, so this is a funny thing. So a little story as to my mage character, who's currently a worgen. He started out as an undead. He is one of my original characters from vanilla. And he was my second character to level 60 max level. My friend, I rolled him with, I think he had enchanting and he had skinning. I think eventually he had enchanting and leatherworking because that was money making. Like leatherworking, like dragon scale leatherworking was a thing and it made money.
Yeah.
One of my other characters had skinning, and so I was making, anything I can do to make money in the game. And he threatened me because as we were leveling, he was leveling his undead priest. I was leveling my undead mage. He funneled me all of his greens for me to disenchant and level up my enchanting. And he threatened me that if I ever dropped enchanting, we were going to have issues. So to this day, my mage still has enchanting. I have never dropped it because of that threat. Even though he doesn't play World of Warcraft anymore, it's kind of a funny thing now to me that he's never dropped enchanting.
Yeah.
So that's just a little insight into like how long stuff took and how valuable certain things was in classic, in vanilla. It was just like,
I just remember needing to be run a dungeon or have a rogue to get, or someone who had the key for the back door so I could talk to the top enchanter that was in a stupid dungeon.
I need another drink for Stratholm. Need another drink for
yeah, like actually gathering at a meeting stone to find people to go do stuff.
There wasn't a meeting stone.
Oh, that's right, there wasn't a meeting stone.
It was all iron quartz.
You had to walk there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I had...
That came in Burning Crusade. Meeting stones came in Burning Crusade.
I had 2 epic guild members. One of them I still talk to. He doesn't play anymore, but I still talk to him. And him and his buddy helped me and my best friend get to this dungeon so I can get my enchanting leveled up. Because, yeah, for new spells, you have to go into this dungeon. And I'm trying to think of the dungeon, and I don't know the name.
And I realized there were some of the mechanics in vanilla I never got delved that deep into. I'm thinking through all the things that people went through. I did my best. Back then, I didn't have Wowhead. I didn't have guides. So I did what I knew, but I didn't have this whole guide of here's all the recipes. And like, I would hear things through the grapevine, like, oh, well, you need to go there, do that. Oh, okay. So I learned things through experience to find things. But nowadays, if I need to figure out how to do something, just go to Wowhead.
Yeah.
Thoughtbot.
Thoughtbot was the go-to place.
Yeah. Well,
When somebody told me about that, yeah. How many people here with a raise of hands fell for the Alt F4?
I
trick?
did.
What was the for trick?
Have your it basically logged you out of WoW. It closed WoW.
It closes your window.
Yeah. Well, and I actually didn't use Thoughtbot all to my classic because
Alt F4 it opens up a secret menu in World of Warcraft.
yeah, everybody try it right now. I can't try it right now because I'm podcasting. Oh wait, Alt F4. Oh, sorry, podcast's over. I Alt F4'd out of the podcast. And like I said, I never used Thoughtbot because back then I considered it cheating. So it was like, I'm not going to look up Thoughtbot for this quest. And then it wasn't until Cataclysm when I started using it. And they're going to have Wowhead now. They're going to have add-ons. These people aren't going to know what it was like back in the day. All these whippersnappers are going to go in the classic. This is easy. No, you had to actually work for it. This is not WoW Classic. This is WoW Classic with modern conveniences.
And it all depends on how they're going to do it. Because maybe add-ons will be broken, and they'll make sure add-ons are broken.
This reminds me, what I just said reminds me of, I was at Dairy Queen on Sunday, and I was trying to focus on writing out the agenda for some different podcasts. And all of a sudden at the next table, I hear this. And I'm like, what? And okay, so I'm working again. I hear, and like these teenage girls are just like laughing and giggling, and it's like, I'm like, I'm trying to focus. It was just like, I was like, I left. I was like, I didn't say anything to them because I was like, nope, I'm just gonna get up. I finished my. Yes.
You're getting old.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
It's exactly what that is you're getting old. Like you lose like your
patience. For
patience.
happiness.
Just for like it's funny because there's like times like these days where I'm like talking about kids and things like that, or like I gotta ask them. I'm like, what are these kids into these days? Like, what's the cool music to listen to, or like what? Like, I don't remember what the latest thing was that I was like, what the hell is that? And they're like, oh, it's this new thing going on or whatever like that. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like the day I discovered it was funny because the song popped up actually at the wedding too. Was Gangnam Style, and I'm like I'm standing at a gaming store and then somebody was talking about this. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I was like, oh, I'm talking about this video and this song that's like taking the popular and whatnot. I'm like, oh, let's see what this is. And like it was like kind of, I think that might have been like the moment where like I realized how out of touch I was with like. I don't spend time with high schoolers. I'm not anywhere around them, so I have no clue what's going on or what they're into. And it's just like, shit.
Yeah.
So this is what 32 feels like.
Well, and like, I will hear from people younger than me, oh, BuzzFeed. I'm like, I don't listen to BuzzFeed. It's like,
BuzzFeed's got some good articles. I like their listicles.
Okay, I guess I must just be. I must be an old person. I must have like an old soul.
Frazley, I'm older than you.
Yeah, no
yeah, you just don't go there. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You just need to broaden your horizon and get with the youngins again.
Yeah, and I just need to support the youngins when I'm eating my Blizzard, and they're at the next table going, Anyway, but yeah. So with classic.
I was actually listening to two young adults, they weren't teenage, young adults, and every couple of words out of their mouth was, oh my god, I would never do that. And I'm like, oh my god, they actually talk like that.
Oh my god.
Like,
I
totally.
really thought it was just, stereotypical, making fun of them, comedy stuff. But nope, these people really talked like that.
Well, I heard someone like, yeah, like,
He's totally into you.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I was somewhere and like it was a restaurant where the tables are so close that you hear out their tables and it's like, yeah, like totally. Like, can you believe what they wore? I was like, yeah. Okay.
Did you see her talk to him?
I know it was like
I can't believe, and he was wearing like last year's season.
Like, oh my gosh, seriously? Okay. But you know what?
I just want to point out that weird tangent of craziness, I actually had nothing to do with.
No, it was all me and my Blizzard and the gaggle of teenage girls at the table next to me.
How are they,
Why were they
old
screaming
enough to
so
come
much?
into the bar?
No, this is a Dairy Queen. I was getting a Blizzard. I want ice cream too. All the talk of ice cream made me hungry, and I had some extra time after between dance lessons, so I got a Reese's Peanut Butter Blizzard because I saw the.
Oh, you actually did go get a Blizzard.
Yeah, at Dairy Queen. I was like, I have time. I'm gonna. There's a Dairy Queen right near my dance studio, so I went over there, and because I had seen the Reese's Peanut Butter on
the Dairy Queen.
The Dairy Queen. Yep.
With the deck that the kids go out and make all the cars honk at them when they go by.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my Dairy Queen, man.
I should have texted you and said, "Hey, I'm over." But
shouldn't have. I would have come over. I would have come over and got a Dairy Queen.
Next time.
That's
Dairy Queen.
That's 3 minutes from my house.
And
3-minute drive from my house.
I didn't think about that. I was just like, all I heard was.
Have you guys ever made Dairy Queen do inappropriate cakes?
No.
However,
why would I do that?
Because it's great. Well, I made it for people. No. Basically, I make sure that whoever's doing it, it's okay and they're, of age.
That reminds me. So my friend, one of my good friends, and his sister have this ongoing battle back and forth. So he went to the store and got her a cake ordered. And so actually at the party, at her birthday party, it says congratulations on the baby. She's not pregnant. And so she got him back on his graduation cake that says congratulations on coming out. And it's just like, they go back and forth like this. It's just
fantastic.
like, yeah. Which is amazing.
That's awesome.
But on the Dairy Queen note and cake note, like, it was a couple years ago, I realized, I'm like, shit, I'm an adult. I can go buy myself my own ice cream cake and eat it myself. I don't have to have a birthday or a special occasion. I can just go buy an ice cream cake whenever I want to because I'm an adult and I can do that.
Oh.
Which, by the way, I might have gone and bought myself an ice cream log and it's sitting in my freezer and I'm going to eat it. Yeah. Like, I'm just gonna sit there with a spoon and just be like, like, big, like, half, like, cut half of it and be like, this half's mine. That half's mine later, too.
Nice. And yeah, as an adult, you can buy Dairy Queen and be like, I don't feel guilty.
No.
I never feel guilty about Dairy Queen.
I just make inappropriate Dairy Queen cakes.
But you know who doesn't make inappropriate Dairy Queen cakes?
Frazley?
Yeah, that is true. Oh! First broken shot glass of the...
Like I said, I make sure the person who's going to do it is an adult and they're comfortable with it. Because I do pre-warn it. I usually cover up the image. Because even if you're not going to do what I do, any image that you draw, type thing, they can put it on a cake.
Interesting. But
so you could put anything decoration-wise on a cake.
So
they can do it.
Now we're encouraging teenagers to go to Dairy Queen and draw inappropriate.
No, not inappropriate things. Like, if you want, like for my best friend, for
just
her
less than wholesome.
Her favorite anime character is Gaara. So I drew a chibi Gaara and I got them to put it on a cake.
So everybody,
and that's when I found out, hey, they can do anything. So I started doing inappropriate things.
So everybody, go to Dairy Queen, put on the cake that you love, Battle for Azeroth, because we were pre-warned before BlizzCon. So right before BlizzCon, there was a trademark filing for Battle for Azeroth in New Zealand. So Siilverbolt, what did they announce as the expansion?
Yeah, didn't you, we got that? Like, I think I saw the text that was in your chat in All Things Azeroth.
Yeah.
Or was that what it was? Yeah. I was in that chat. I don't know if you tagged me in it or something like that. And I saw that right before everything hit. It was just like, oh snap!
And
that was pretty cool. Like when that like bit of news came out. Yeah, I don't know. Like it looks really, 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 really cool. And I want my little figure. My figure. I'll tell this story. I keep telling people about this too. Like, so Fraz tagged me in this. I guess he found out that I have a character on the diorama. I'm like, diorama? What's this diorama? And I was like, oh snap! Like I totally missed it because it was all covered up when we came in. It wasn't until after the cinematic was revealed and everything else that they opened it up and showed it. Displayed it out for everybody to see. And Fraz tags me and says that like it's like you're on the diorama. I'm like, what's going on? And it was like, oh crap, like they only picked like 10,000 people out of the 30,000 or so that attended BlizzCon to be there. And I was like, that's so cool. And then I'm like, oh crap, if they pulled that from the army, what transmog was I wearing? what if I would have known I was going to be at this battle, I would have picked a totally different transmog. Oh.
I was actually thinking, I was like, Siilverbolt's probably now analyzing the transmog.
I wish I could see my character. I have a picture of the squadron that my character's in, and actually I was zooming in on the picture. I took the picture there at BlizzCon, but I never zoomed in on it later. I did it today. I was showing a coworker the diorama. I'm going like, holy crap, this diorama was so cool. And it looks like each race was kind of divided up in their own little squadron. So like I'm in a squadron of other Worgen. Like you can see the backs of them, like they're all like how they're standing. Like you can tell that they're Worgen from behind. And I can't tell which one's mine. And when Bartholomew and I were there on Saturday morning, we took some time and took a look at the diorama and took pictures. There was nobody there manning. They had a computer desk there manning the cameras. So they had like 2 cameras on pulley systems above the diorama. So I guess you could technically talk to them and they would focus in on your character directly. But I don't know if you actually got like a printout or anything else of what your character looked like later. I'm still holding out hope that they'll contact us and, send us an email and be like, hey, we are, putting this thing away for good. And would you like to have your character? And send us your information here and we'll ship it to you. Like, I want my character. But I think in the TOS, it's like they own all the properties. So I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, well, and that's one I almost see them not putting away for a long time, especially because it's like the diorama for Battle of Frazley. We'll probably see that in more promotional things. I mean, we're probably going to see this diorama again.
I would not be surprised if it finds a place or a home somewhere in a Blizzard lobby somewhere and sits there for the entire expansion or most of the expansion. Seeing like the behind the scenes of their, like when we were sitting waiting for the opening ceremonies to start, they had a bunch of little background videos and stuff like that running. And one of the background videos was the art collection, that they actually have stuff like archived in climate controlled rooms in the Blizzard vaults of like original artwork by Chris Metzen and things like that, like original artwork. And like I have a feeling like something like that would find a place there. I don't think they'd ever like destroy it.
No, well, and it won the Guinness World Record for largest video game diorama.
Yeah, and I mean, wishful thinking. I want my character, but I want to know what transmog he was wearing. Like, I watch. It's like just his normal like everyday one where he's just like wearing his tall hide set and his goggles, and I'm like, dude, I would have like totally worn like my battle ready like Thok armor, the armor I've got set up for my Thok transmog.
So you can say that you for them to use your model in the diorama.
Yes, I was not warned. Otherwise, I would have. Actually, it was funny because there was Barf and I. We were talking to a couple nearby Blizzard employees, who were just on staff, like standing around, and asked them, what was going on, or what was going on with the diorama, and they're like, "Oh, we actually don't know." But the one guy actually told us too that he had heard about the diorama coming up, and he even faction changed or race changed. Like he even purposely changed his character ahead of the diorama in the hopes that one of his character would be picked. His character didn't get picked, but I thought it was funny that he actually knew it was happening and purposely set his character up in a way, if he was going to get picked, that it would be 3D printed out in that way.
Well, and wouldn't it have been funny if we had done one of the naked transmog runs and they had picked that armory update and all of a sudden... And
I think actually, I don't know if that would have been part of the issue or if they would have done it or not. There might have been some criteria. I think the criteria was your highest item level character. So if you weren't wearing any gear and you have other high level characters, so for all I know, Mr. Snuggleguts might have been one picked.
Yes.
That's my druid, by the way.
So, and on that site, there is a video that they played underneath it. I don't know if that's a generic video or if that's a video of it. So definitely go back and check the wildplayerdiorama.com and put your name in.
I think it's a brief flyby of the squadron that your character is in.
Okay, so
of that specific quadrant.
So you might be able to see more detail in that one of your character.
Not really.
It's not even frame by frame. But yeah, everybody make that listen. Don't ever leave your character naked after a naked transmog run. Always put gear back on because you never know when Blizzard's going to use you.
Apparently. Well, I know that. I'm going to log out in my best gear every time.
Yeah. It's like when your parents say always wear good underwear and socks because you never know when you're going to die and they'll be in the morgue with bad underwear.
Right.
Or is that just my parents?
That's just my parents.
My cousin always yells at people. She's like, "Don't sleep naked." She's a police officer, so she's gone on a couple calls for of people who, passed in their sleep or something like that, and she's got to go into their apartment to their houses and do the check on them or whatever. And she's like, "I don't want to see that."
I have a story when we're not on the air to do with that.
That's good, and thank you for. Okay,
it's not my personal story. Someone else said that, that's why it has to be off the air.
Yes, so this will be Frazlecast guest only, exclusively for the guests.
Frazlecast after hours.
Yes.
Frazley would not allow that at all.
Well, I can charge like $10 an episode for that. I mean, that wouldn't be bad.
$10 an hour. Or not.
Jesus, I don't think I have anything that particularly saucy to say that people could spend that much money on it. Jesus.
Well, then just make things up or something like that. Just no one has to know. They just have to. They just have to be
to one of those Playboy magazines and read one of the articles in there.
There's articles in there.
Yeah, apparently those articles are really good.
All of the
I've never read them.
All of the Hugh Hefner coverage was that he was an amazing journalist. So, I heard about his Civil War story, or his
Civil War stories. He wasn't.
No, civil rights stories. But apparently he was big into civil rights and stuff like that in journalism.
Yeah, apparently there were some really, really good articles and stories and stuff that was written up for those magazines. In between the photos, of course.
And the photos weren't any. They were just Anyway. How do I transition?
Again, I had nothing to do with that.
That was all me as well. No, actually, no. Technically, that was Emma. Technically.
Damn! I thought I was going to get away with that.
I could have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for you and your transitions. Or not. Anyway. And that Storm Stout Brewery song just stopped right on it's just cut its. Yeah, I didn't cut it. But Battle for Azeroth, I think what is interesting, if you looking at the cinematic for WoW, Sylvanas starts in the beginning of the original vanilla cinematic. Actually, I'll call it classic now. She starts in the classic cinematic, but then in the good stuff, she starts the Battle for Azeroth one. And I'm calling it classic and the good stuff. And no one's like chiming in.
What? Sorry, I was clearing messages still.
You're fine.
I've got like, okay, so I've gotten through Twitter, the birthday wishes in Twitter. I've gotten through all the birthday wishes in Discord, and I've got about 53 messages in Facebook. So I'm slowly getting through them all.
And I'm one of them.
What was
so.
the question? Thank you.
So
You've like wished me happy birthday in like 5 places already.
Yeah. Hey,
like okay, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, on air, private message maybe.
Yep.
I appreciate all of them. Where's my air horn?
Oh, air horn.
Birthday girl demands air horns. Thank you.
And you could say that that this year you leveled up.
I did indeed level up. And
we won't mention the level other than that's 21. So,
I really don't care. I'm 32. I'm not shy about that. I was seriously looking at my hair the other day. I was in the bathroom. I was just like looking at my hair, and I'm like, do I have any gray hairs yet? Like, I'm gonna be rocking out the silver fox for sure, man.
Oh,
I'm not gonna be
I got so much gray hair.
I think I'm starting to.
I'm not gonna be one of those ones who's gonna dye my hair. If I'm gonna dye my hair, it's gonna be like a color, like purple or blue or green or something crazy like that. But like, yeah. My hair is gonna turn gray, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's right, get gray hairs, and I'm gonna rock it.
My goal is to be fully gray by the time I'm 30.
Seriously?
Cool. Yeah, that's my goal.
I've never ever dyed my hair.
I have burgundy.
I can't say. Well, I have personally never dyed my hair. People have dyed my hair. That has happened.
I think the exact color that my friend told me my hair color was old Polish lady red. If you guys know what color that is.
I know exactly what that is.
It's like purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I always laughed at that at like the fruit market, and it's just like
Yep. I knew someone who had that as their hairstyle. My hair is blonde enough that it could be that the white hair could be blonde. I don't know. All I know is I'm growing out a mustache and stuff like that, so I must be getting older.
Yeah, I'm curious as to like if I'd be like salt and pepper or some other kind of color. I've kind of got blonde, brown hair, so I'll probably be a little bit more on the light gray side, I think. But I think I think I'm gonna have probably another good 10 years before the first ones start to show up.
Nice.
And I could be wrong because my sister's 5 years older than me, and I think she's already had a couple. So she saw I found it the one day, and she's like, and pulled it out.
Like, no!
I usually bug my boyfriend because he has like jet black hair, and all of a sudden you just see this random white hair, just one.
So this will be the silver hair watch.
Yes, I will be silver. I'll be true to my name. Which is funny because, like, I was curious about, when people switch up characters and stuff like that. Because actually, so this is an interesting subject with going back to World of Warcraft here. Change in factions and change and stuff like that. And there are going to be people who are going to be changing mains pretty much to play the new content coming out for Battle for Azeroth. And I know I saw a post already from Ro. Ro is actually he's going to be known amongst all the community, and everybody's still going to know him as Ro, but his actual namesake, his warlock, is going to be renamed come the next expansion. So his headcanon for his warlock is going to end at the end of Legion. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
To see the change in that, and as he continues to grow with this game. And like myself right now, I'm in the process of transitioning over to my druid, Snuggleguts. Yes, his name is Snuggleguts. And as Barf says, I told him Mr. Snuggleguts. He's like, no. His name is now Mr. Snuggleguts. Mr. Snuggleguts. I'm like, okay, his name is now Mr. Snuggleguts. That I'm going to be playing him. I'm going to try to be focusing on him as much as I can the second half of this expansion to get the Druid stuff unlocked, because the Druid stuff is just so awesome. Oh my god, and talking about Druid stuff, like, I have my speculations that I kind of hope the Zandalari trolls are going to be true Dinomancers, and all their forms are going to be dinosaurs, because, like, holy crap.
Yeah. Oh, and...
Bye, CTR. I'm gonna go play with Thorn and Fist.
So,
for a while here.
Convert to Shenanigans will be maintained by Frazley during Siilverbolt's absence.
Right? So Friday Night Fight Night's going to be true Friday Night Fight Night, because we're going to do three player versus 3 player on those islands.
And we'll be in the same Discord. Oh, I like that. I like that. Where you'll bring up the
Good, yeah, that'd be pretty cool if you can actually queue up, like, against your friends. Like, you don't have to queue up, like, randomly, like a random BG. Like, you could almost queue up at the same time and hope you get to face the other person, but not necessarily. I hope you can actually set up, like, war games where you can actually specifically set up, like, this 3-man team is facing this 3-man team. That would be pretty cool.
I think where we'll probably see that will be, I'm betting there'll be a new esport of the islands. If it goes over well enough, kind of how we have the Mystic Dungeon Invitational, I think we'll soon have island expeditions.
I like that. That'd be pretty sweet. I can see that.
Yeah.
Now, here's another question, if I still have it in my head. Nope, it was there, and now it's gone.
PvP.
Oh, yeah, PvP. Thank you. There you go. How many of you guys are going to opt into PvP with me?
I will when I feel like. For the most part, I actually like.
When I feel like it.
Yeah.
Well, I need to do more PvP on my Warlock, because I am so behind on the whole silly prestige thing. Yeah.
Well, not just that. So it's going to end up happening with the new PvP system. So this is it. There's still, information coming out, and it's still they're working out the details. But the way it sounds so far is that in the major cities, you're going to have the option to toggle your PvP on or off. You can't. It's like a decision that you can't take lightly. So you can't just be out in the world and be like ganked by a rogue and be like, screw this crap, and turn PvP off. No. When you leave the city to start doing your questing or whatever you're doing out in the world, you make that decision: are you going to PvP or not? Once you make that decision, you're stuck with it until you get back to the major city. So, I think it's. Go ahead.
No PvP for me, but this makes it easier for my best friend who's on my old PvP server, and she borrows me to turn off her PvP-ness. And yeah.
Sorry.
The PvP-ness, yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't help it.
Wow.
It was so innocent, and I started chuckling at it, and I'm sorry.
Okay, you went too far.
I'm so immature. I'm so sorry.
That was a low blow. Okay.
That's beautiful.
Oh, now Fraz is getting in on it now. Oh,
hey,
God.
I'm being corrupted by you. I'm being corrupted by Fist, Thorn.
I'm glad you're corrupted.
I'm seriously looking forward to their clean episode, because it's gonna be amazing. They're worried about where they're gonna lose viewers and people like that because it's not gonna be dirty. I'm like, no, it's gonna be fantastic just to hear them just struggle so hard.
Now, I did give I gave Fist a name for the show. Hopefully I said, call it Lagging Badly. Because that way you can still use OP. So.
Well, then I say like lagging round.
Well, I was trying to go for something where you couldn't even look into some way where it would be explicit. So that's why I went for the Lagging Badly. I was like, that way there's just it's not even an innuendo. And no, don't turn that.
All you have to do is put a picture of a bouncy ball with it, and it's that.
But that's
just
more like Rocket Spawner.
Lagging picture of a ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apostrophe S.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for the same episode because it's like in their Discord, I've made jokes and like, man, I've only made this joke because of liking balls.
I was thinking today, so I've been tossing around the ideas of, like, I really wouldn't mind a High Mountain Tauren or a Zandalari Troll, especially if the Zandalari Troll are going to be freaking Dinomancers. Like, that's freaking cool. So the nice thing is that now I'm learning, I'm focusing the second half of this expansion to learning Druid. Like, Druids have always sounded so cool to me that they are... Between Druids, Paladins, and Monks, they are the only 3 classes that can do tank, healer, and DPS. So being able to do any of those 3 at a drop of the hat is actually like a really cool idea in my head. Like, I can drop into any of those roles, no problem. Like, I like being that kind of helpful person.
Yeah.
And so spending the second half of this expansion learning Druid, like, it's always called to me, but it's not, it doesn't come easy sometimes. Like, you really need to work to actually learn each of the specs.
Yeah.
So spending the time doing that, I'm hoping then I will learn enough that I can just jump right into a Druid on the Horde side too. So I'm thinking about that. I'm like, okay, do I boost a Druid and start playing with them now, or at least try to, boost a Druid to 100 and start working on that to 110? And then that way, when the High Mountain come out and the Zandalari come out, I can just, work with them, unlock them, and then I got to roll a new Druid. Do I want their heritage armor? Do I really want to level them up from 20 to 120 and unlock their heritage armor? Well, if I'm going to be doing them, I may as well unlock their heritage armor.
Yeah.
So thinking about all this, well, the expansion the pre-purchase for the expansion usually comes out within 6 months before the expansion comes out, which level 110 boosts are coming at least 6 months before the expansion drops. So all I got to do is focus now on my current Druid on the Alliance side with CTR and who I want to level up and get geared out so that I can actually do all the Mage Tower challenges on all 4 specs. Hit a Mythic 15 those are the goals I want to do now, because that's the stuff that's not going to carry over. That's the stuff you got to do now. That by the time that I get to that point and finish those off, we're going to get the pre-purchase. We're going to get a free 110 boost when you pre-purchase. I'm going to throw that on a Horde tune with Blood of the Scribe with Thorn and Fist and get a character going over there. And then I'll be ready to go once the allied races come out. And then I'm going to have to level one of those. I may as well level one of those to get the heritage armor. I'm like, there's no point faction change or race changing. It's like, I'm going to be playing that class. I may as well level it from 20 to 110 or 120 to get the heritage armor while I'm at it. Anyway, so it's just like all these things going through my head in preparation for Battle for Azeroth. It's just like, and then what do? I come home from work and I'm like sitting here and I made dinner. I had about an hour-long phone call with my sister, by the quote-unquote birthday phone call with my sister, and then I'm here tonight, and I still haven't played. I haven't played at all tonight.
Yeah, I haven't either. I'm probably going to play on Thursday during the 13th. Well, it'll end tomorrow night. I'm planning to play tomorrow night.
It was kind of funny. So my sisters, I've got two nephews and a niece, and so my sister puts each of them on the phone and tell me happy birthday. Yeah, they're like 11, 9, and 7.
Oh, cute.
And yeah, they're adorable. Like my niece is the middle one. She's always asking me. She's like, "Oh, Tati Erica, can we go fishing?" She takes after me. Like, we'll go fishing in the retention pond behind the house. She loves that kind of stuff. And so I'm talking to my nephew, the oldest one, and he's actually got Asperger's, and he's really literal about the things he talks about. So I'm asking him questions about how his day's going and how his birthday's going or his schoolwork's going, things like that. And I asked him, I'm like, oh, have you, what kind of games are you playing nowadays? Because like his sister like puts me with the kids and she's like, go talk Minecraft with them. And it's just like, okay. And I go talk Minecraft with my oldest nephew. It's kind of funny. And so I'm talking to him. I'm like, oh, yeah, what kind of games are you playing nowadays? And he's like, I'm actually not playing any games right now, which is unfortunate. And I'm like, oh, yeah, why is that? Is it because you're focusing on schoolwork? And he said, yeah. I'm like, well, sometimes you got to do that. I'm an adult, and I've got to come home from work, and I got to do laundry and take care of things like that. And I really want to play video games, but sometimes you just can't. He's like, oh, yeah, you're right. He's like 11. and I said, well, but then it comes to the times when you do get a chance to play, and it makes it all that better that you get that time to play. And he said, yeah, thank you for the great advice.
Oh.
And my nephew, I just love this kid. This kid's hilarious.
And you give him like all this sage advice, and he's like,
well, and he's such a smart cookie, like really, but it's also just interesting to see how he interprets things and takes things and says things back because of his condition, that he has, a bit of Asperger's, which is a bit of autism. It's a form of autism. And so it's really funny sometimes. Like you just love him, like for that kind of stuff that he is, of who he is. I love him. He's hilarious.
Oh, absolutely. I've got I know people who have Asperger's and autism, and just their perspective on life. I'm like, wow, I had never thought of it like that. I mean, I've had some who have actually changed a perspective that I had on a thing. Like, that's a really good point,
right?
And that's why we need perspectives in life, and we need to be able to see, oh, we didn't think about it that way. So
yeah, I was talking to my niece and nephew today, and my nephew has a bit of a disability, and you know what? He actually had able to hold a more of a conversation than he used to be able to with me. Because before, if anything like grabbed his attention, he was gone. You might get, okay, not much. No, I don't remember. And that was it. Today he actually was telling me stuff and how school went, and I'm just like, oh,
that's cool.
So and then highlight.
Yeah, and then my sister was trying to get the phone back from them, and they're like started yelling. It's like, no, it's my turn. So my niece and nephew were fighting over me.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love them.
So Silver,
Eric, where's your conversations about nieces and nephews and how adorable they are?
Well, I don't have any nieces or nephews, but I do have a cousin who is 7, and he's recently gotten very into Pokemon. And I get this envelope in the mail addressed to me from him, so it was weird that I got a piece of mail from anybody. But open it up, and he drew a picture of Pikachu and put in a Pokemon card with it.
Aww.
With the note, there's just like, thought you might like this. So I'm like, oh god, it's so nice. So then I was like, I went out and I bought a frame for it and put it on my wall. So
that's awesome.
I was like, Ben, you've made the wall.
That's amazing.
You actually have a heart, Eric. That's awesome.
I do have a heart sometimes. Most times I hide it though.
Only when Deceiver's around.
Yeah.
No, that's when I bring it out the most. No. I think he would be upset if he found out I had a heart.
He would be
he'd be horribly distraught.
My niece was working on her homework tonight, and I was joking with her about Harry Potter because she's Slytherin.
Do you ever give her grief about all the Dora the Explorer she used to watch?
Sometimes, but what was your favorite?
To do the Dora the Explorer bit, and she didn't think it was funny.
Yeah.
Do you like to watch Dora the Explorer? Do you watch it on the TV? Great, muy bien. She just was like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing what you watch. She was just having none of it. She was just like, no, I hate you.
No, she didn't hate you, but and I was thinking about so Silver. One thing you mentioned about Battle of Frazley. I was thinking of an interesting perspective. Oh, birthday cake!
Whoa, there's a cake.
That's the cake I was telling you I did for my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, that's not...
or I'll kill you. Oh, that's cute. My cat's looking at it right now. He's like, what came up on that screen?
I wouldn't have expected. Okay, that's actually better than I was.
God.
Like you said, the DEQ will put anything on a cake.
I'm going to Fraz. Let's go to Dairy Queen. Let's test that theory. Be like, hey, Dairy Queen, Emma said that you'll put anything on a cake. So
who's Emma?
Make it happen.
I have a non-appropriate one, but I'll send that privately if you want to see it.
Only to Eric, not me.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
I don't want to see it. So, Battle of Frazley.
Don't worry, I'll send it to you later.
after the show, because you don't want my reaction. Like, oh my
I so want your reaction. What are you talking about?
What? Go ahead, Fraz.
Oh my no! What? These goggles?
Not even.
They do not.
It's not even that clever. Well, I guess it kind of is. Oh, you have to say it. I got it. That makes more sense now. When I was reading it, I was like, that's not even clever, but it is. It is. It's like a
now you messaged it to him, and now I'm like in the dark here. I'm like, what the heck are you guys talking about?
Wait, why does she have a beard?
It's not. It's supposed to be a paper bag.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a beard because there's like the mouth on it.
Listeners.
So
okay. So
imagine a person without a shirt on a cake
with a paper bag on the head.
Are they wearing
a head? You can't tell.
There was a 2-bit brownie at the bottom, so no, there wasn't.
What? Okay,
the brownie got eaten already.
I'm missing that part of the picture.
I'll see if I can find the photo. Hold on.
Okay, so what will be good for our listeners on audio? So, Battle for Azeroth. I've got a theory, and you might have heard this theory as well, that even though you may be becoming a traitor going to the Horde, by the end of the expansion, I think we will all be one big happy family.
I don't know about a big old happy family. I still, as much as I'd like to hold out hope for the faction wall dropping, I don't think they're ever going to do it.
Well, here's why I'm thinking it. Partly because in 2004, Blizzard Watch had kind of mentioned one of the things that made WoW really good is you had red versus blue. And
I loved red versus blue. Sorry, that's a totally separate thing.
Well, and I think that also was popular because back in 2004, we had a red versus blue, and all we'll say is politics. And I think that...
No, I'm talking about the Rooster Teeth, red versus blue.
Oh, I know, but I think that show is also popular because I think it was subtly a way to play out politics without...
Really?
It's funny because like the only thing I remember about red versus blue is the fact that my friend named my first car the Puma.
It's a warthog.
Because it looked like some kind of really sleek feline.
I remember the warthog Puma jokes, and I tried to make this machinima of Halo on Combat Evolved.
Yes. What was that? I remember it.
It was the Great Calamity. I like this whole storyline.
What was that? I watched it. It didn't make sense. It's still on the internet somewhere, right?
It is. It is. Search for the Great Calamity. You'll find it.
What was it about? What was the story? Because it basically was like, here's Halo with even less conflict than Red versus Blue.
We were trying. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so what was the question you were leaning towards, Fraz? But by the end of this expansion, that we would be like best buds.
Yeah, well, because if you think about it, we're just like 2004. We are also leading into another red versus blue political clash, and in Azeroth, we have a red versus blue political clash. We have two leaders of both factions who are leading head to head, and on both sides there are people in those who are not liking their leader. I mean, there are people who are not liking what Sylvanas is doing. I mean, there are people who are not liking what Anduin's doing. What if WoW's using it has kind of a story to kind of unite people and say, hey, let's put down our differences. We may disagree on different things, but let's put that down. Let's come together to fight the even greater evil of evil. And in WoW,
Dr. Evil.
Yeah, with the typical tropes of World of Warcraft, yeah, that's gonna happen. They even talked about that too, and there's a lot of theory lending towards that. This is going to be the big thing that's going to focus our attention for a while until, meanwhile in the background, a lot of other stuff is happening. It's a typical WoW trope. I'm not dissing the story at all. I'm eager to eat it up. I'm eager to throw my money at Blizzard nonstop for this. You can almost kind of see the story coming. However, they all threw us for a loop with Illidan's story and the condescending wind chime.
Yes.
They seriously, threw us for a loop with that whole thing. We thought this was going to be the thing. They're going to bring him back. He's going to be like a light forged Illidan, and it's going to be amazing. And no, he put his foot down and blew him up.
I am my storyline.
Okay. Right. So that threw us for a loop. So Blizzard is capable of throwing us curveballs, and I am all in with the Kool-Aid. Like, just keep it coming, keep it flowing. I'm just happy, just keep it flowing. Even though we know what's going to happen, or at least we have an idea of where the story is going to go. For all we know, maybe not. It's still up there for debate. But I mean, I still don't think the faction walls are not going to drop at all at any point in time. They're on the flip side of the faction walls is the social network that they're putting into place, all the groundwork, all the structure that they're putting out there with the groups, the battle groups and things like that they're putting together. So technically you can still be connected, within the BlizzCord network, like putting everything into that way there where you can join up with people, in your small groups and things like that, cross faction. Yeah, this is, can't wait. It's going to be sweet.
Absolutely. And especially with the storyline, the fact that we're not actually going out somewhere far off in the sea, but look, Kul Tiras is right here, right in front of us. And we just didn't see it. And then all the stuff. I see what time it's at. I was curious, what's some advice you would have for about BlizzCon for future attendees?
Don't stress yourself if you miss a panel. Don't stress yourself at all. Like, I mean, granted, yeah, being in the main hall was awesome. I don't know what it's going to be like in an off expansion year. But you know what? Even if I wasn't in the main hall, if I was with a group of people that I wanted to be there with, it would have been the best day ever. 'Cause we were there was like 15 of us. Like, we saved a whole crap ton of seats, and even then we were short a seat, and I ended up having to play squishy butt in between seats, because we kind of over budgeted ourselves on one seat. Since this year they moved all the panels, all the discussions, things like that. They moved it all to the virtual ticket, including all the voice actor panels. Don't stress yourself about not going to see a panel. Focus on the people. Focus on the friends. Focus on spending time meeting your content creators, the people you follow on Twitter, the people you follow on podcasts. They are super happy to hear about what you think about their shows. They eat it up. Like, really, like, to stop them and talk to them about their passions and what they love and what they want to do. Stop and talk to a Blizzard dev, like just a Blizzard employee, like on the con floor, and ask them, what do you do for Blizzard? And just ask them some questions. Like, they'd be so excited to tell you about their life. And that's like the little in-depth things, or the you like the things I didn't plan on doing when I got there was like finding that Blizzard employee who works on the team that designs plushies. Like, I had no idea. That was never in my plans at all. Oh, and another thing. So on Bartholomew and I, we on Saturday morning we got our Battle for Azeroth poster, and we got it signed by the Blizzard devs. There's like a signing station where you get a poster for the game and you get the Blizzard devs to sign it for you. You can ask them some questions and talking about that. And so moving through and talking to each dev and asking them, what did you work on and what part of this were you about? And the one dev we were talking to, I don't know how we got on the subject. I think it was about, I was talking about my transmog and how I've always got to match my, I think he asked us, like, what was your favorite part about the cinematic, and what was your favorite part about the new expansion? And I said, watching the preview and looking at all the pets that I could possibly tame. Like, oh, that looks tameable. So does that. Is that a freaking mount? Holy crap, that is a parrot mount. That parrot has got a saddle. That's a mount. I need the pets to match that now. I need an outfit to match that now. So I was telling him how, like, I was watching the the videos, seeing what new pets I could tame, and then match my and of course I was like, and I gotta match my transmogs with it. And he's like, oh, like, I actually work on the transmog system. I'm like,
oh, that's awesome.
You work on the transmog system? He's like, yeah. It's like, what part of the the transmog systems it's like, do you like it? I'm like, I love the transmog system. Like, it's the best thing in the world. And he's like, well, what kind of things would you like to see on the transmog panel? And I said, greens and blue sets. And he's like, I'm working on it.
Nice.
Not at the time, but I'm slowly working on it, is what he told me. So there's sets coming.
That is awesome.
They are working on the other sets. So right now we've got the all the purple sets, all the raid sets are all out there. So they are working on the other sets. So that's exciting to know. And then he told me too, because I was talking about how my warrior we were talking about old school stuff too, and I said how like the day that Titan's Grip came out was like the best day of my warrior's life. Like, I love that. And then of course transmog, the fact that I can transmog staves and like other things like that, pole arms. Like, I can dual wield pole arms. Like, I can transmog my two-handed axes to look like pole arms. That was like so cool. And then he said, oh, well, if you like stuff like that or like staves, check out Anturis. Anturis has got, it's a really sweet weapon in Anturis. You should check it out, for your warrior. I'm like, ooh. So that's actually in the game already. I think you can actually check some of the upcoming items, the upcoming stuff that's out for Anturis. But like, just the little, like, that's the stuff I didn't plan for. That's the stuff I didn't even think about. Like, you just like randomly have these discussions and these stories, and it's just fluid. Like, don't go to BlizzCon with plans. Yeah, have a couple things that you want to do, you want to see, like, especially like if it's your first BlizzCon, go to the main hall. Since they've changed it up now, so it's like your different stages now are for your each individual game. go to the stage that your game that is your game. Go to that stage, because you're there with other people who are just as passionate for that specific game from Blizzard that
Now,
you are.
I would say the only stage that I would have preferred if I had gone this year would have been the Ben Brode. Ben Brode is like my twin. Since someone said that the energy in the Hearthstone room is just, you could feel Ben Brode's passion and energy from the seats.
We were yelling from the main stage, thinking like they could hear us. We all picked certain death. It was hilarious.
Yeah. And we were too on the All Things Azeroth. Well, I was. I think Madros wanted the other way, but like, no, I want it this way. I want certain death.
Yeah, it's just like, you can plan for the few things that you want to do, but don't set your heart on it. Like, it was all about the people, and it was actually, I think more than anything else, was interacting with the Blizzard employees and hearing their passion and just talking to them. Like, freaking Ash figuring out when the date for Antarctica is going to drop, like, just talking to a dev, like, really, like, the funny things, like, we were all, like, nobody was really, everybody was kind of afraid to ask that, or, like, they redirected our attention on that one, but, I can't think. Oh, so there was just a brief little discussion, or like a brief little talk with Taryn Gregory, and I'm like, I just love all the cinematics. I can't wait to see what you guys come out with. And he's like, and Turris is coming out. Turris is just right around the corner. And there's just like that little drop of like what he's got planned in store for the Turris cinematics. Like hearing that from Taryn Gregory's mouth, like right there at the CTR party, was just like, I just got, like he just like spoon fed it to me, he's just like, here you go, open your mouth, yes, that's right, oh, you got a little bit on your chin, just there you go.
And Lady Emma, please refrain.
Oh, it was good. It was very good.
And from what I'm hearing from you, it's the people. It's kind of like I've been to pod camps and they call it the unconference, because they said you have your podcast sessions, but it's the things behind the sessions. It's those little conversations in the hallways.
Well, okay. So my first day at BlizzCon consisted of I flew in to John Wayne Airport, and I'm waiting around the baggage carousel for my bag to come down, and who walks by me but somebody wearing a Convert to Raid sweatshirt, and I'm like, well, let me go talk to them. So I start talking to him. It turns out it's Dr. Pope, and I'm like, okay, nice. I'm like, that's awesome. And I start talking to him, and we ended up splitting an Uber. He was actually staying at the Marriott right there on the Anaheim Convention Center grounds. Like, the two big hotels there is the Marriott and the Hilton. So he was at the Marriott. Everybody I knew, I was sharing a room with Bartholomew, the Buttress, and I'm drawing a mind blank on the fourth person's name. There was people in the other room as well, because Barth actually had 2 rooms that he had, and so they were all at the Hilton hanging out. So I'm like, okay, well, I got a ride to the Marriott. Let me walk across. So I walked across to there, and of course, I got to meet Barth, and I got to meet. I think Bartholomew came up later. But got to meet, the Buttress, and then Jules walked up. Sal was right there. That was the first meeting of Sal, was right there at the Hilton. I was just like, oh my God. She's like, when she finally realized who I was, she's like, oh my God, give me the biggest hug ever. And so, like, I spent, like, the next, like, half an hour, 45 minutes there, just standing there with my bag and stuff like that, hanging out. And later, the Buttress and I, we went back to the room. I got my stuff all dropped. Oh, yeah, so the Buttress and I went back to the room, back to Bartholomew's room, ran into Bartholomew there, and then I got settled in, and then the Buttress and I still needed to go check in and got our badges and stuff, so we headed back, did that. I ran into Ro, like, all of a sudden, like, he's walking past me, I hear this voice, I'm like, why do I know this voice? And then Buttress was like, oh, that was Ro. I'm like, Ro! oh my god, like it was just like nonstop from the time in which I like landed, like just nonstop from like people to people to people that I knew, or at least I knew of, or I've heard them, or I've listened to their podcasts. And so that was really cool hanging, meeting Ro, super sweet guy, really awesome. We headed back to the Hilton, and then so we just stood, once we got back to the Hilton, we had all our, our goodie bags, and we were all checked in, and, people just kind of, that's the place to stand and to wait and meet people. So everybody kind of comes slowly in. And that's where I got to meet, Mark Conan showed up there. I got to meet Arcane Ratzel. She walked by a couple times. Sprout, got to meet Sprout was there. Bartholomew was there with us. And then, somebody else was standing there too. And we just get to meet each other. And he's like, oh, my name's, Garasar. And I'm like, oh, who? I'm like trying to think of, he's like, no, Garasar. And I'm like, Garasar. And I show him my badge and he went, oh my God, it was Garasar. And it was like, he gave me the biggest hug ever. It was like he was so excited. It was his first BlizzCon too, and it was just amazing. Like that kind of response from the people that I've interacted with online, and now I get to meet them in person and have just as much of a positive reaction as I do to hanging out with them in game. It was just so cool. Like hands down, it's the people. Don't be worried about missing panels. You'll find them on the live stream later. Like I've been going through them when I've had some time here to start watching back, to the backlog of VODs, and it was hands down, it was amazing. Like I'm ready to go again.
I'm reminded of what Mike Morheim said during opening ceremony. He said, there are no strangers at BlizzCon, only friends you haven't met yet. And what you're saying is just validating that fact, that everybody that you meet is excited to meet you because they've talked with you, but also you're all sharing the passion of Blizzard, of WoW.
Yeah, and what was kind of cool too, so their badge, the BlizzCon goodie bag this year was the backpack with the Velcro patches. And granted, there were some horror stories of, people did get some of their badges stolen off their bags, but for the most part, I had very positive experiences with it. And what was kind of cool is on Saturday, the second half of Saturday, I spent the day actually trading badges to try to get the ones I didn't have. And as I was walking through the convention center, just kind of taking it all in on my own, I came across a couple people who had, like, I could see on their backpack, like I'm walking behind them or I pass by them and I'm eyeballing all the backpacks. I'm like, oh, he's got a badge I don't have yet. Do I have that badge? Yes, I got that badge. Like checking their backpacks out. And I'll see people, I saw a couple people who had duplicates on their backpacks. So I just happened to stop them. I'm like, hey, excuse me. I happened to notice you had 2 of the little Ragnaroses. Would you be willing to trade? And they're like, oh, yeah. What do you got? So I pull out of my pocket. I got like 15 like duplicates because I bought a couple of the packs. Just a quote unquote couple of the packs. I needed trading fodder.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, there was 21 to collect. So I think I bought like 24 or like 27 of them or something like that, whatever the like 9 packs or something like that is what I ended up with. So then I had duplicates to trade. And so, I had like 2 people who I just randomly stopped who had a duplicate on their backpack that I wanted. And they were like, oh yeah, here, yeah. Oh, like I don't have that one. Yeah, I'll trade you for that one. I'm like, yeah, you better believe, yeah, all right. So it was just kind of cool. Like even just that kind of interaction was just pretty neat. And then later on in the day, I think it was Saturday night, we were just kind of like, it's the end of the con, and we were just kind of, I was making my way over to, I was eventually working my way towards the IHOP to have dinner and spend a little bit of time with Frosty and Kaz. And so I'm like, okay, well, I got to walk through the whole Blizzard, the Anaheim Convention Center campus. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me stop at the Hilton. I know there's a couple people at the Hilton hanging out already, like Sal was there and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, let me stop by the Hilton, hit them up, be like, hey, I'm going to IHOP. Who wants to come with? And So on my way there, like there was a couple people I ran into Cuddles, and I was talking to Cuddles for a bit, and then talking about the patches, and then somebody else is like, "Oh yeah, I didn't get this one or whatever like that." I'm like, "Oh here, I got a duplicate. You can have it." And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get more next year. It's not a big deal. They're duplicates to me. I traded what I needed, or I traded the ones that the ones that I wanted. So these are just duplicates now, which are just, trading fodder just to, for next year. But you know what? Here, make you happy. Here, have what you want. Same thing with like Barf and the Buttress or whoever else that, is like, yeah, which ones do you want? Here, these are my extras. Which ones do you not have? Which ones do you want? Helping out friends and such. So it was actually kind of a neat experience. Getting into BlizzCon this year, the pins have been an ongoing thing for many years, and then trying to get into the ground floor of the pins, I'm like, that's expensive, and I'm just not going to do it. I don't have the time or the money or really want to do that. These Velcro patches, though, are pretty cool, and the neat thing is that they're actually growing into the community, too. I mean, CTR's got their own patches.
Yeah.
I got a technically PvP patch. I got a method patch. Kind of sad I didn't get a Wowhead patch. So some of the community patches, things like that. So there's plenty of those out there. I gotta hit up Vash next year. She's got the shenanigans patches. She'll have to tell me the story behind those. Because it's not about convert to shenanigans. It's not about entirely.
It's not about Super Troopers.
I think it is in relation to Super Troopers, but it's more of the fact of just crazy stuff that they've gotten into, or at least that they've been like a part of. So
nice.
So yeah, there was a story behind it, and so I knew better than to ask. So
absolutely. Well, and next year I hope to have Frazley patches when I go.
You have to make them and bring them.
Oh, I will. As I said, I want to make them and bring them. I got a
yeah. But anyway, I've talked on long enough, and I'm just thank you for letting me ramble on, because
absolutely
it was an amazing experience. If you haven't done it, definitely do it. I mean, even if it comes down to the point where you don't have a ticket, like even up to the end, like up to the very last week before BlizzCon, I knew there was still somebody in CTR's Discord and in one of our chat channels saying he still had 3 tickets to get rid of. Because people's plans change. I don't know quite how it works after that point, because there's that end date in which you have to put the name on it before you actually have to change it there, and so on and so forth. So, but there's still a chance to get a ticket, and even if you don't have a ticket, it's just so much fun outside of the con. Because if I didn't get a chance to get in the con, I probably would not have known half the stuff that was there. I wouldn't have really cared as much. I would have had more time to hang out in front of the Anaheim Convention Center watching all the cosplayers.
Yeah, well,
I was saying, I spent half the time, I was going into the con to go do stuff inside the convention center, that I walked right past the cosplayers going, oh yeah, that's a really cool cosplay. Oh, that's a beautiful cosplay. Just checking them out in passing and not taking a lot of time to look at them closely. There's just not enough time. I'm already planning, okay, I came out Thursday this year, and I just was nonstop from the moment I got to the convention center from the airport. Okay, I'm going to have to come out Wednesday next year. And then I'm looking at all the people who I missed getting a chance to meet or hang out with, or spend more time with, other than just brief passing and having some food with, that I should fly out Tuesday now. So I have all day Wednesday and all day Thursday, and it's just it becomes more and more that I'm just holy crap.
Yeah, well, and I like your thought, because there's so many things around BlizzCon that you can do, and that's why I'm thinking once I get my fund set up, I'm just going to plan on going out even if I don't get a ticket, because I can even with the virtual ticket. I feel like I was there. I just couldn't do the after panel discussion in real life.
But there's also tons of parties and events.
Yeah,
that doesn't even have to do with. Well, it's BlizzCon related stuff, or World of Warcraft, or Blizzard entertainment stuff, but there's all those parties at the different hotels, and there's so much going on. And then I know some people who also went to Disneyland during the daytime because they didn't have a ticket for BlizzCon. And then after, Disneyland, they went to the parties to get to see everyone and get to know everyone and find out all the juicy gossip that's been going on that they missed.
Yeah.
It was cool. Con Before the Storm, I spent the whole evening there in suit, and that was a lot of fun and up until about after 10. I don't regret, there was this moment, so we were hungry. I hadn't eaten, I don't know what time was when I last ate, and I had been on my feet all evening hanging out with people, and it was just coming up on like quarter after 10, and I was like, all right, let's go get food. And so a whole group of us left to go to Denny's, and we were passing by my hotel room, the hotel, and it was that moment of, okay, the time in which they were giving away the artwork at Con Before the Storm was at 10:45 to 11:30. And it was quarter after 10. And it was this moment of, do I go back to the room and change and go back to Con Before the Storm to claim my artwork? Or do I just go to Denny's in my full armor with Jules, Sal, Bartholomew, I think Valenhall? It was just a group of us. Or was it Sprout? I think Sprout came with us too. But there was just a group of us who went to Denny's, and I was like, you know what? That artwork isn't worth it. As much as it'd be really cool to own a piece of that artwork from Con Before the Storm, spending time with those people at Denny's was the best choice. I mean, to me, in my head, it was there was no question. No question whatsoever. It was to spend time with people.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. I just saw it. That's the...
All right, time for the lightning round.
No.
I thought we were turning into pumpkins.
No. Oh, yeah.
And pumpkins, although it's November now, so...
Pumpkins are still in November.
Yes. And
yeah, but they're old news then. All the pumpkins around here are rotting and
okay,
black.
fine. It's poppies in Flanders Field.
Well, in Thursday's WoW 16th anniversary. But Silver,
wow.
Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you again for sharing your experience at BlizzCon. I enjoyed just hearing the inside scoop, just hearing how much fun it was for your first BlizzCon.
I'll just say this. My mom was telling me the story this morning because she called me for my birthday phone call from my mom, and she says, you were born screaming. You haven't shut up since.
Well, once again, happy birthday.
Yeah.
I hope you had a great day and an epic year until the next time you were day of your birth.
Yes.
Yep.
And it just happened.
Speak. No, I can't.
It's okay.
Well, thank you all for coming tonight to Frazzlecast. Let's start with Siilverbolt. Where can we find you on the interwebs?
Best place to find me is on Twitter at Worgen BM Hunter. You can also find me at Twitch at Siilverbolt SIILVERBOLT _CTR.
Nice.
So there is an underscore.
There is an underscore.
Okay.
Yep. Unlike Deceiver, she
versus the overscore.
The overscore.
The side score.
Yeah.
I think that's called a dash then at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know dashes and stuff, but we can also dash over to Eric Gauder's domain.
Yeah, if you'd like.
Where can we find you?
You can find me anywhere you like. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Gauder, on YouTube at Eric Gauder. Just Google me and whatever comes up. Have fun.
That could be scary. Just as long
I don't know. I haven't Googled myself. I don't know what would come up.
as long as we don't find
scary.
you.
But I'm gonna Google myself right now, so I'm gonna find out.
Sounds good. And Lady Emma.
All right.
without Googling you, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at lady_Emma.
I already Googled Emma, remember? And it brought up a bunch of other stuff.
Yes.
Remember? Yeah, that was from another show. Oh.
And
Yeah, just Google me. My Twitter's the first thing that comes up. And then some pictures. Oh, images. Okay, the first one is some old man. That's not me. The first three are not me. They're like guys from like India. Then the fourth one is me. And then more of these guys from India. There's my logo. Oh God, I have really short hair there. That can't be real. There's my car. There's my old car. There's the speedometer of my old car. There's my car getting filled up with gas.
Google
oh God.
knows you.
Google, this is a weird collection of things.
So
Wow.
So Google Eric Gauder and you'll find his Twitter and you'll find his speedometer and everything.
You'll find mostly my car.
I think if you search for Frazley, you'll find me. But you can find me on...
Well, let's find out.
I'm at Frazleytastic on Twitter. Find me at Frazley.com. You can find Frazzlecast at Frazzlecast.com. Get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. Until Thursday, since this is our special Tuesday episode, be awesome.
Don't forget to eat my lock cookies.
Brian Williams.
Catchphrase.
Yeah.
Woo!
I stole that.
Oh, Ludra the Mage here.
And I'm Ben the Mage.
Ben, we need to get our people in order.
What? Don't we collect pets? I mean, I'm not really comfortable with the whole collecting people thing. But, well, I mean, I guess we kind of do with our garrisons and class halls. Huh. Collect
No,
whole
Ben,
set.
but also yes, because I'm talking about class halls. Go.
Okay, well, honestly, you're not really talking about anything. At least anything that makes sense.
Fine, if I have to spell it out for you. Were you the renegade mage who sanctioned this whole mage on mage hate? What about your monk? Did you go, oh, well, I guess since we're done with demons, we should fight each other now?
No?
So it's someone else. Who's in charge of our classes besides us? Because they went ahead and went war. That's what we need to do. War.
Well, yeah, they're the faction leaders. Or maybe even those guys at Blizzard.
Ben, I really don't think this was thought through. I mean, I would never split my beloved class up. Ugh, we chill at Hogwarts all the time. It's been really great.
Well, while Eludra looks for the people in charge, make sure to check out Battle Pets episode 119, where we chat about BlizzCon and some other stuff, but mostly BlizzCon.
Demon hunters at war with each other? Huh, no, makes no sense. Senpai does not approve this.
Welcome to the Frazley Report. I am Frazley, and here is your news report for Friday, November 17th, 2017. With reports coming in that Teldrassil may be burned in the upcoming expansion, the Night Elves of Teldrassil have created the Darnassus Fire Safety School. This will help create awareness of what to do when and if Teldrassil is set on fire by the Horde. The creator of the school, Amiel Lunacaller, said the passion for the school was lit in her after she realized how much the capital city residents didn't know in regards to spotting, preventing, and putting out fires. Teaching has been a burning desire for Miss Lunacaller, and this was the perfect opportunity for her to set her teaching career on fire. She hopes that this blazes a trail to a better future for the city. We at the Frazley Report urge our listeners to please be on the lookout for suspicious activity. Brush up on your fire safety, and hopefully this story sparks you into action. Thank you for tuning into the Frazley Report. I am Frazley Sparksman. You can find us at FrazleyReport.com. Until next week, be awesome and kindle joy and kindness in someone's life. Frazzlecast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment. Views expressed by the host and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard games and are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended.
Want more awesomeness every week? Visit weeklyawesome.com. Weekly podcasts to make your week better. Remember to smile and be awesome.